When you fight life and go, I should be a singer and not a mom, and you got 5 kids, you got a problem. When you fight life and say, the economy should be different, you're gonna be stressed. Deal with what is, without exaggeration, with total honesty, dealing with the cards, coming up with a vision, finding yourself a role model that shows your strategy, work your tail off, give, keep changing your approach, and you can get where you wanna go. Make sense? Now that might sound like a lot. So to get you started, here's what I'd like you to do for this session. Start out if you want by taking a big crisis or problem you have and going through these steps, saying, okay, what's really true? And let me exaggerate, let me stop the exaggeration. Let me not make it worse than it is. Just let's define what's true. Let's stop the story, just here's what it is. We got this much financial challenge. We got this physical challenge, whatever it is. And then go to step 2. All right, let's find out the truth. Let's get the details. Let's get the details and figure out what we're gonna do. And then here's where we're gonna go. This is where we're gonna eventually get to. It might take us longer to get where we wanna go, but we're gonna get here. Who's done it that we can model, that we can follow the steps in, who can coach us? And let's just work our tail off and change every day. But to give you a quick jump, sometimes when you're in the middle of crisis or crises, multiple crises, lots of things going on simultaneously, it feels a bit overwhelming. So, and you might not know a role model. You might say, Tony, I don't know who. Well, not hard on the internet these days to find role models, or come to an event. I can promise you we can show you plenty of role models. This is what I do for a living. But what you can do right away is you can model yourself. Think about it. Almost everyone alive has been through more than one tough time, crisis or multi-crises, where you're having a problem financially and you're having a problem with your family and you're having a health problem all simultaneously. Those are the intense ones, right? But if you're standing still today, most of us have found a way to get through it. And if you don't, you know someone who went through a tough time, a grandmother, an aunt, an uncle, somebody. The greatest way to make that change happen, when you break out of it, break through, you break out of a problem, you break out of a crisis, is model yourself. So we have 5 questions when you click on this link. And you can do it by video so you can see yourself, and you can share it with other people, or you can type in the answer. I'll tell you in advance what they are, and then when I'm done here, I want you to do it right away if you would. The first question is, what's been one of the toughest times in your life? What's been one of the toughest times in your life that you did get through? Maybe it was a financial situation, maybe it was a career situation. Again, maybe it was an intimate relationship where you were crushed, you thought you could never make it through all the pain you went through there. Maybe it was a physical challenge, a health challenge. Maybe it was a lack of confidence or ability. I don't know what it was, but what was it? Just incredibly tough time that you did make it through, and you're just gonna jot it down. Or you can do it in the video and just tell us, because you're not only gonna get this answer, but we're gonna create a community of people who will be role models, people that have been through hell and back, saying, here's where I was, here's what I got through, here's what shifted my life, here's what you can do. And we're creating this community as our gift to you, so that this isn't just a discussion that's one way. I want to do is start a conversation with you where we can help each other. So that first question is, what's a crisis? What's a challenge? What's a tough situation you eventually made through, but it really was difficult for you? Second question, you go back and you think about that situation. What pulled you through? What pulled you through that situation? What did you learn? What distinction, or did you get a strategy? Or was it a belief? Or did you meet someone who helped you? Or was it just somehow you clicked into your faith and you kicked yourself into gear? What pulled you through those tough times? Was it a person? Was it a place? Was it an idea? Was it a distinction? Was it a belief? What was it? Share it with us. Type it down or tell us from your heart what it really was. Third question is just real quick. It's just for contrast. And the third question is, what was your life like before the crisis? Like right before all hell broke loose? Usually you'll say, oh, my life was so great, but when you go back and look at it, was it so great? Was it wonderful? Just out of curiosity, right before all hell broke loose. Third question is, what was your life like right before? And then the fourth question, what'd you do? What did you do to go from where you were to where you are today? What did you do to get over that situation? What did you do to get through that situation? What did you do to turn it around? What action did you take? Who did you go learn from? What skill did you go get? What did you physically do? Kind of give us the description of what you did, because we all want to know, because you can provide us a pathway. You may have been through a crisis that someone else is going through right now, and they could learn from you. They could learn the shortcut. And finally, the fifth question, maybe the most important one besides what pulled you through, and the fifth one is, how is your life actually better today because you went through this crisis? Whatever the crisis was. How are you stronger? Or are you more compassionate? because you felt that suffering? You don't want anybody else to feel it. Or are you more hopeful because you know you made it through that so you can make it through other things? Or are you in a situation where you've got a skill today that you didn't have and wouldn't have had if it wasn't for that situation that made you have to grow? Or are you just happier today because you have a contrast of what life could be like, and so now you appreciate the simple moments? How are you better mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, or spiritually today because you went through the crisis? Even though you wouldn't want to go through it again, you don't want anybody else to go through it, how did it actually serve you in the end? I think if you answer these 5 questions, you don't need to remember them. I said them to kind of trigger you thinking. All you do is type in the answer, or you take the instructions and click on the video and go, okay, toughest time in my life? There have been so many. But I'd say when I went through this divorce, or I'd say when I was told I had this tumor, or I'd say when they told me this company was going to go bankrupt, or whatever it was. Second question, what pulled me through? God, I don't know, I guess a combination of things. One was this belief that somehow everything in life happens for a reason and a purpose. And even though I hate this, something must be calling me to grow. Or I'll tell you what it was. It was a friend that sat me down and said, man, you're going through hell. But when you're in the middle of hell, when you're pushing through hell, just keep pushing, just keep going through it, man. I've been there. And he gave me this plan, or he gave me this strategy, or he told me, you know, this problem won't last forever. Trust me, I know it feels like the end of the world, but 10 years from now, you and I will be sitting here, and you'll be here with your children, and you'll be here with your wife, and we'll be talking about those tough days, and we'll actually smile and laugh about them and be so proud we made it through it together. Or you might say, what got me through it was prayer, or my faith in God, or what got me through it was just massive action. You know, what pulled you through? Just tell us. We all want to hear, we all need to know. And there's lots of ways to get through hell, isn't there? There's lots of ways to get through a crisis. There's so many ways. That's what I want people to get. So when you're done with this on the website, you will give in something. Because the community is not just a place you go get stuff, right? It's a place you give. And the more, you know, authentic you can be and honest from your heart, the more other people will see and be touched. You know, what was it like before? Oh my God, I was on top of the mountain. And what did you do? Here's what I did. You know, I told myself the truth. I went and got this new education. I went and started talking to people each day. Whatever you did. How's your life better today? There's a phrase, you know, be humble or be humbled. You know, I have a different level of humility because I know, you know, that as good as I may think I may be, that situation reminded me that life is not just about me, it's about we. Or, gosh, because of that, I love my wife so much because we made it through that situation together. Or because of that, man, I'm so much stronger financially. I'm on top of things. I don't let anybody spend. Whatever it is, tell us how your life's better. Okay? I don't know how long the session was. Again, there's no script here, baby. I just want to work with you heart to heart to say one thing. If you want to break through, you have to make new decisions. New choices create a new life. The only thing stopping you is some limiting belief. Some belief about how life should be different or you should be different. Deal with life the way it is. Tell yourself the absolute truth. Don't make it worse than it is. Tell yourself the truth. Deal with it. Get a vision. Get strong. Get a strategy. Get a role model with a strategy and get into action, and then put your focus on taking action every day. Giving, giving, giving. Change your approach. You will get there. Go to the Power of Crisis right now. Click in. Give us your message and the answers to 5, and look at other people. You'll find people have been through things you can't imagine. A woman talking about how one day she was home and a man came in, and to try and save her children from being hurt, she had to let him rape her right in front of her kids. And when her husband found out, he came home, he was so upset he left her. And then she developed cancer. I mean, you'll see some stories here that'll blow your mind. And today she's the most happy, incredible woman, and she's helping other people who have cancer to get through it. She's healthy and strong. Her kids are strong. We need those kinds of role models. So whether your story is little or big, there is no little or big. We all need a pathway of power, and this will be a gift to yourself because it'll activate your resources. It'll be a gift to other people as well. So that's our session. The power of decision, the power of choice, how to face a crisis and turn around. It may not sound like rocket science. It's not. It's just called the truth, and the truth will set you free, as they say. So live strong and live with passion.